You know what that tastes like? Freedom. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video. We just got hit with an early Christmas present. Now, I know the news has already come out hours ago. My sleeping pattern is a mess because of uni. That's also the reason why I've been barely uploading on this channel, because I'm just way too busy. But after this news, I had to put a video out today. The transfer ban has finally been lifted, and it's been lifted halfway as well. We've only had to deal with half of that. The transfer window is done now. It's been lifted following an appeal to the Court of Arbitration for Sport. We were given a 2-window ban by FIFA in February for breaching rules on signing young players, but the Court of Arbitration for Sport, which I'm going to call CAS for the rest of this video because that name is just too long, they halved it to 1 window, which we've already served in the summer. So the transfer window is done and now we can go out and sign players again. The fine has also been reduced from 600,000 Swiss francs to 300,000, which is 230k in pounds. Not much for Chelsea, for being honest, and also it's been reduced, so who's complaining? And Chelsea were given a transfer ban for 150 rule breaches involving 69 academy players over several seasons. And I'm not gonna lie, I heard that back in February and I thought, we're lucky we're not even getting 2 years. I was just going to take the first year and firm it, and if you look at the way we're playing this season, we've done pretty well under the transfer ban anyway, so there's nothing to worry about. But details of the case, which was recently published on a FIFA legal website, show Chelsea claim many academy players were only trialists and didn't play in organised matches. CAS also found that the Blues did violate rules related to the international transfer of minors and to the first registration of minors, but for a significantly smaller number of players, which was amounting to about a third of the violations found by FIFA, which is why we had the transfer ban reduced. The CAS verdict also said, in addition, the violations to other RSTP, I'm sorry if I'm not looking straight at the camera, I'm getting the information right through here. The violations of other RSTP, which stands for Regulations on the Status and Transfer of Players rules, were found to be less serious than those attributed to Chelsea by FIFA. And Frank Lampard has come out and spoken on it and said it's a positive outcome for us. He said it allows us the potential to look at the market going forward, and he said, I'm pleased from a footballing level, but it was never my business to get involved in the reasons why or the legal side of it. So Frank Lampard is mostly keeping his hands clean, but you can see that he's happy that we've got this transfer window reduced, because we're back out in the window and we've done brilliantly this season. For a team that's been in a transfer ban, for a team that's lost Eden Hazard, we've done so well. But now we get to add to that. Now there's going to be a couple question marks around it. The question marks are going to be, do we want to disrupt the squad's dynamic? And I don't think Frank Lampard wants to disrupt the squad dynamic that much, because you see the way this team's gelling together, this team's learning to play with each other. You don't want to put too many new players into it. It's going to disrupt everything, especially midway through a season. But if we get 1 or 2 names in, I mean, it can't be too bad. I mean, I'm looking at the side right now in my head and I'm thinking we could do with a new left back. Emerson Alonso. Emerson, I think, has always been a squad player, or at least been decent. Alonso isn't Chelsea quality as much as he's had great memories, he's had great moments with us, but he's not a Chelsea quality player. Emerson, I think, is, but I still don't think is the answer that we're looking for. So I think if we can go in, it sounds out there, if we can get Ben Chilwell, let's get Ben Chilwell. I know we're linked with him. I know we're also linked with names like Jadon Sancho, names like Timo Werner, names like Kai Havertz, Wilfried Zaha, even Nathan Ake coming back to Chelsea has been rumoured. If we can get a couple in January, that could really boost us towards the end of the season. We are in the top 4 race. We were quietly talking about whether we might be in a title race or not, but I think those 2 defeats in the last 2 weeks have kind of put that on the back burner for a couple months, so let's just leave that out there. If we make top 4, we're happy, same way as we were last season, no one's complaining. But again, transfer window's done. There are names out there that we can go and get. Jadon Sancho is going to be brilliant for our side if we can get him, because we need to start looking at replacing the likes of Willian and Pedro. Pedro already looks like he's on his way out, and I know we've been saying it for years, but same way for Willian as well. He looks like he's on his way out too, and we need replacements. Pulisic came in as a summer. That's 1 replacement already. I think Jadon Sancho would be perfect to be the other one. I also think we could do some competition up front for Tammy Abraham. I think Tammy Abraham has been firing on all cylinders, but I do think he needs some stronger competition as well. I think Michy Batshuayi is a great super sub, and he's had a lot of brilliant moments for Chelsea, but I just don't think he's all there as a player, and I don't think he's the type of player that we need up front. I think also Giroud, Again, he's had great moments for us, and I think he's had a very frustrating time at Chelsea, because I think there's been a long period of time where he was the best striker that we had when we had Morata, and then when Higuain was just doing nothing unless it was the bottom 5 teams in the league. But maybe Giroud just came at the wrong time. Maybe he came at the right time, but I don't think he's the answer for us either. And I think a player of Timo Werner's quality, he might even be our starting striker. He probably would be. But competition is what brings out the best in all of these players. If Timo Werner's on the market and he wants to come, we should be all over that. Because Tammy Abraham's already a brilliant number 9, but Timo Werner's been elite for years. Like I said though, Lampard probably won't want to change the squad dynamic much. We might not even make much transfers in January, but if we do, only expect 1 or 2. But there was also one other thing with coming. Lampard won't want to disrupt the squad dynamic, so if we do make any transfers in January, only expect 1 or 2 to be coming down to the bridge. Chelsea have released a 4-point club statement as well following the lifting of the ban. And the statement is just right here, so I'm just going to read it up. I'm going to leave a link on the screen as well. And it says that there's a 4-part statement to this. The first part that they're saying is the approach taken by FIFA to this case has been deeply unsatisfactory, not least as FIFA chose to treat Chelsea entirely differently to Manchester City for reasons that make absolutely no sense to Chelsea. Their second point is that FIFA accused Chelsea of having breached Article 19 of the FIFA regulations in relation to 27 players, covering the period from 2009 onwards. Of those, 16 players were registered by Chelsea in exactly the same way as other Premier League clubs registered players at that time. Furthermore, Chelsea sought clarification from the Premier League in 2009 about whether it needs to apply for permission to register players in this category. The FA subsequently liaised with FIFA, and it was confirmed to Chelsea that players in this category were entitled to register and that no special application was required. So what Chelsea is saying here is that they basically registered 27 players the same way that other Premier League clubs registered players at the time, and they sought clarification, and it was confirmed from the FA and FIFA that there wasn't a special application process. Their third point was in relation to the remaining 11 players involved in this, and they said 6 players qualified for one of the exceptions set out in the FIFA regulations. As a consequence, to the extent there was a breach in relation to these players, in relation to remaining 11 players, Chelsea said 6 players qualified for one of the exceptions set out in the FIFA regulations, and as a consequence, to the extent there was any breach in relation to these players, the breach was of a procedural nature only. So what they're saying is out of the 11 players, only 6 qualified for the exceptions set out for the breach, so it was a procedural one. They also said with the remaining 5 players, FIFA's position was that it deemed these players to be registered prior to any application for registration even being made by Chelsea. So 5 were only deemed to be registered and 6 were qualified anyway for the exceptions set out. So Chelsea's 4th point on this is saying that they respect the importance of the work undertaken by FIFA in relation to the protection of minors, and they fully cooperate with FIFA throughout its investigation. However, if FIFA continues to impose inconsistent and unequal sanctions on clubs, then it will not only undermine the very purpose of the regulations, but will also bring into doubt the game's confidence in FIFA being able to appropriately regulate this important area. Chelsea, obviously respecting the importance of the work done by FIFA, they're not trying to disrespect them in any way, and they also fully cooperated with FIFA throughout the investigation. But they're also throwing a couple shots. They're saying if you lot continue to be inconsistent, if you continue to impose unequal sanctions, they're bringing to doubt the game's confidence in FIFA. And I'm not even going to lie, the game's confidence has been draining in the last couple of years anyway. If you look at the racism issues, if you look at the Qatar situation, so many scandals over the last couple of years. But guys, let me know what you think down in the comment section below. What do you think of the transfer ban being lifted? Who do you think we're going to be going for in January? Let me know whether you enjoyed this video or not. Like and subscribe to Carefree Lewis G, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Up the Chelsea.